We are good.
Good morning. Thank you all for being with us here this morning. My name is Kieve. I'm the president of Kieve Action, and I'm here to share that the future of driving is electric. And that future looks incredibly bright right here in Michigan. Drivers who have made the choice to go electric love it. They are celebrating the freedom of never having to experience pain at the pump ever again. They're having fun driving cars that go faster and avoiding headaches caused by more frequent repairs. Electric vehicles cost less to repair and break down less regularly. Mark, a Republican Air Force veteran from Eaton Rapids, who media action featured in one of our ads, put it better than I ever could. He said that as someone who's worked on F-16s, he knows performance when he sees it. That assessment led him to buy a hybrid a decade ago, a hybrid that he likes so much that he still owns it. And sitting next to it in his garage is a fully electric car now. The tax credits and investments and the climate laws that President Biden signed into law that were a fulfillment of commitments that Joe Biden made on the campaign trail in 2020 and affirmed in key remarks here and there are working. That legislation has come to pass thanks to Michigan leadership from Michigan's congressional delegation, especially Senator Dennis Stabenow, Senator Gary Peters, and your terrific Congresswoman Elvis Slotkin. They've attracted hundreds of billions of dollars of private investment, which will lead to hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs. These jobs aren't being spread around evenly. More than half of the jobs and investment dollars, more of those jobs and investment dollars are coming here to Michigan than to just about any other state. There are a couple of reasons for that. One is the terrific leadership here in the state. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and state and local leaders here throughout the state are raising their hands and saying that they want those jobs coming here to Michigan. Second is that Michigan knows a thing or two about building cars. EDF, the Environmental Defense Fund's research shows that over $20 billion in private sector investment is coming home to Michigan. That will lead to the creation of over 18,000 jobs. And we're just getting started, and that's just in electric vehicles and batteries. That couldn't be further from bloodbath. To me, that looks like a manufacturing renaissance for this country, and a symbol of what is possible with a president and with leadership that understands the value of work, that supports good-paying union jobs, and that, as President Biden says over and over again, he's proud to be the most pro-union president in American history. I've already said the future is electric, and it is bright for Michigan. But that doesn't mean that there won't be bumps in the road on the way ahead. Range anxiety, worry that you won't have enough places to charge up your fully electric car or truck, is a real concern. And it's keeping some good people who would consider buying an electric car from taking that plunge and taking that next steps. Projects like the Michigan Capital Area Charging Gateway in Michigan are addressing range anxiety head-on. The $8 million in funding from the Department of Transportation that is coming here to Michigan's capital region is going to help build over 50 chargers that drivers, irrespective of whether they're in an electric vehicle or a gas-powered car, will see as they move about and go through their daily lives, that will give them confidence that if they make this decision and this choice to go electric, that they can plug in and get where they need to go. This is so, so important. And with that, it's my great pleasure to turn things over to your mayor, Lansing Mayor Schor. Mayor Schor.
Thank you. Secretary, I thought he was going to give all of my comments, so I could just thank him and sit down. But I think I'll say a few things. Lansing is tremendously proud to really be part of this EV future. We know that the batteries are being made here at Ultium Cells, a partnership between GM and LG, $2.7 billion of investment into our community, 1,700 jobs, making the batteries of the future. We know that there are going to be cars that are EV cars that are going to be made right here in the city of Lansing. We have 2 GM GM plants. And as David mentioned, I'm really excited to highlight the Michigan Capital Area Regional Electric Vehicle Charging Gateway Initiative. This is the $8 million grant that we sought and received from the federal government, from the U.S. Department of Transportation's charging. I won't touch that again. From the U.S. Department of Transportation's Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Grant Program, Lansing and some of our partner cities, we're going to be expanding our publicly available EV charging stations here in this region. This is important as people look to need a place to charge. They come to the capital city for the legislature, for state government, because we have an incredible number of amenities and things to do here. We're affordable. We get a lot of visitors here, and when they have their EV cars, they get a place to charge. So now we're going to have 50 or so more charging stations. Certainly, I want to thank our President Biden, and our U.S. Senators, Debbie Stabenow and Gary Peters, and Congresswoman Melissa Stockton. They supported, they pushed for the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act, and that's what made this possible. We know that the money on the street to ensure that we have the infrastructure for the future was so important, and that couldn't have happened without our President and our Senators and our Congresswoman's leadership. Providing access to electric vehicle charging, it'll be critical for our communities, for workers, and for those coming for these meetings, these dining, shopping, and other events. This is also a good way to ensure that we are minimizing the barrier for EV ownership. The City of Lansing is proud to lead this. Together with our partners, we are laying out a plan for growing publicly available EV charging by at least 25% in the capital region. The project, as I said, will install up to 50 electric vehicle supply equipment to be sited in various locations prioritized by our community members and stakeholders throughout the City of Lansing and surrounding municipalities, East Lansing, Williamstown Township, and others, to make sure that this is spread throughout our region. We'll expand our community-based infrastructure and fill gaps in access through equitable expansion of charging and fueling infrastructure throughout our community locations, located on public roads or in other publicly accessible locations like parking garages and facilities, and public buildings, schools, parks, and other publicly accessible areas. So I'm excited that we're moving forward with this. I also want to mention that our Lansing Public Service Department is in the initial cohort of our U.S. Department of Transportation Private Communities Program, and our own hometown power provider, Lansing Board of Water and Light, provides rebates to help offset the costs associated with installing charging stations. So both on the public side and on the private side, we're providing resources to make sure that we can be part of this EV charging future. The board has always been a leader in adopting new programs to help customers save energy and money, and they took the same approach with the promotion and adoption of plug-in electric vehicles and their charging infrastructure. So all of us together, we can build the electric vehicles of the future here. We can ensure our residents and visitors have access to critical charging platforms at their homes and throughout our community. We're proud to be this leader. And we can't do anything without the exceptional partners in our state legislature, in addition to our federal. Our state legislature has been great in providing resources to communities, and I know one of our exceptional leaders across the street here is a good friend, State Representative Julie Brixie. I'm going to ask to step up next. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Schor, and thanks for inviting me to be here today to talk about the exciting things that we're doing here in Michigan and the progress that we're making. So as we've heard, Michigan has this rich legacy of auto manufacturing, and so the EV transition and investments, of course, are natural for the car state. But we also are the Great Lakes state, and that's given us a rich environmental history as well. And when we then throw in agriculture, which is our second biggest economic driver behind manufacturing, we have over 300 specialty crops here in Michigan. And something that joins the Great Lakes state together with our environmental concerns and history and resources is our agricultural resources and the desire to preserve and protect them. So as chair of the House Ag and Rural Development Appropriations Subcommittee, I hear regularly from farmers who are concerned about the impact the changing climate has on their ability to sustain their farms and our food supplies. We have so many different specialty crops that have very narrow ranges, and our unique climate here with our lake shore helps us be a leader in cherries and apples and all different types of crops. So the farmers have recognized the problem that we have with our changing climate. And from just 2010 to 2020, we've experienced 19 extreme weather events. And that has cost the state up to $5 billion in damages. We had a tornado last year in my district, and another one in the region just about a week and a half ago. So greenhouse gas emissions from transportation account for almost 30% of U.S. Greenhouse gas emissions. And this is the largest sector of domestic greenhouse gas pollution. So the future of our agriculture and our economy depend on us reducing the carbon pollution and stabilizing the climate. And that's why we're capitalizing on these great investments in clean energy, including more than 50 EV charging stations right here in the area. So, Lansing is with the capital here. All sorts of people like me come to work here every day that are associated with state government and the workings of the capital. And it's great that President Biden and Senator Stabenow and Peters and Representative Slotkin have helped Lansing work in this area of capturing these EV charging stations so that the large work source that comes here to Lansing to work every day community can have that confidence that they'll be able to charge their vehicle. And it'll help us remain at the forefront of that EV industry. So I want to thank President Biden for having the foresight to see what our country needed to move us forward and to help us with these really important infrastructure investments that he has provided us with, and we're taking full advantage of here in Michigan. So, and I'm very thankful to all of our other leadership at the national level to help get us here, as well as the governor's leadership in the state, and Mayor Schor's leadership as well. So thank you so much, and I'm going to introduce Elizabeth Hauptman, who's a Michigan field consultant from the Moss Clean Air Force, to talk to you a little bit more this morning.
Hello everyone, I'm Elizabeth Hauptman, the Michigan Field Organizer for Moss Clean Air Force, uniting over 1.5 million parents, caregivers, fighting for clean air and a healthy future for our children here in Michigan. We have more than 35,000 members actively engaged in this cause. Today, I am thrilled to discuss the revolutionary advancements made by the Biden administration and EPA with a new Clean Car standard set to reshape the future of 2027 through 2032. My heart is deeply invested in this cause. My son, who has asthma, represents one of many children who will breathe easier as we shift towards a cleaner automotive future. The transportation sector being a major source of pollution directly impacts our children's health. The new standards promise a significant reduction in the harmful emissions, protecting our 22,600 adults and 3,900 children in Ingham County alone who suffer from asthma triggers. As a mother, every cough, wheeze, underscores the urgency of this mission. Emissions from the transportation sector hit close to home, exacerbating conditions like asthma, which my son battles every day. Adopting clean air standards is not merely policy to us, it's a lifeline. It means fewer asthma attacks for 3,900 children in Ingham County and over 140,000 children in Michigan who have asthma. This means fewer missed school days, and emergency room visits, and more days filled with laughter and play instead of worry and discomfort. These standards promise cleaner, healthier environment where children can thrive, not just survive. And additionally, these shift promises immense savings in healthcare costs related to pollution. A recent report highlighted that Michigan would see benefits worth over $51 billion by reducing premature deaths, asthma attacks, and lost workdays through cleaner transportation. But the journey does not end here. We must ensure that these standards are not just implemented, but fiercely protected from those who want to seek delay to our progress for personal gain. With the continued support of the EPA and Biden administration, we can look forward to a future where children can play outside without fear and where their skies are clear, where Michigan leads the way to charge in automotive innovation. So at this time, I would like to thank Senators Debbie Stabenow, Gary Peters, our representative Alyssa Slotkin, Governor Whitmore, and the MI Healthy Plan, as well as everyone on the stage here with me today. Let's continue paving the way to Route Zero, ensuring a healthier, more sustainable climate for all of our children. And with that, I'll bring David Kieve back to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth. In closing, let me again remind you that the future of driving is electric, and that future is incredibly bright for us here in Michigan. That future involves Michigan cars assembled by United Auto Workers, the best in the world, bought by Michigan consumers who will save money and experience better driving. As we've heard from Representative Brixie, it will benefit Michigan farmers. As we've heard from Elizabeth, it will benefit Michigan moms and families and have enormous public health consequences and lead to cleaner air and cleaner water. I'm so excited by this project, by the charging stations that Mayor Schor is bringing to this city and to this region, and to what the future looks like for Michigan and for our whole country. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Alex Ross, Grassroots Engagement Project Manager for EDF Action. As the advocacy partner of the Environmental Defense Fund, we are excited to be celebrating climate, clean energy, and clean transportation investments from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law and the Inflation Reduction Act. Yet some members of Congress are looking to roll back the progress we've made over the last 2 years. That's why right now is a critical time to make your voice heard. By signing our Defend Our Climate petition, we'll send a note directly to members of Congress asking them to protect climate progress and oppose any efforts to roll back these critical climate investments. Thank you for your continued support and advocacy.